Have everybody's attention now.
This is it, Josh. This is it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of WrestlePoint. We have a very jam-packed episode for you guys today. We got a lot of stuff to get through. We're going to be going over our review for yesterday's Crown Jewel pay-per-view. But before that, we have episode 2 of our fantasy booking series. How are you guys doing tonight?
Awful.
Terrible.
I'm kidding. Hopefully that's worse than Cody, because Cody does worse.
I'm better than Adam Pearce right now.
Adam Pearce. Oh boy, we'll get into that another time.
So to give everybody a little refresher on what our topics are going to be. So Dom's going to start. His booking for the week is Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Then I'm going to be going and I'm booking Chris Jericho's retirement match. And then Cody is going to end it all with booking Bray Wyatt in Bray Wyatt's debut in AEW. So without further ado, Dom, you ready to go?
Yeah. Right now, my voice might be a little dry. So if I have some water breaks, let you know. What the hell was that in the window, Cody?
Oh,
okay, and I apologize beforehand on my walk. So, okay, let's get started. So I have Roman Reigns versus The Rock. So this starts at Royal Rumble, right? To WrestleMania. That's the Royal Rumble is won by Finn Balor, and then the night after he challenges Big E to WrestleMania. Then we had this Friday night. Roman cuts a promo on SmackDown saying no one's able to beat him. He is the chief. What was it? Head of the table.
Tribal chief.
He's the head of the table. Tribal chief. He's a tribal chief. That's his new name now. But then all of a sudden here, dum 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 dum. See the lighting on the wall. Jeff Hardy comes out. He's like, yeah, listen, Cody, sit down.
No, I'm almost there.
Okay. He comes out. He's like, you know what? I have seen many great champions throughout SmackDown in my career. I've been here a long time. And then Roman's like, yep, you are washed. Roman's like, yep, you're washed. You need to get out. And Jeff Hardy, he's like, you know what? One last time. You know, I don't have nothing to prove. I won it all. I did it all. Let me challenge you. He's like, first of all, I am the greatest champion you have ever been part of or witnessed. So let me get that out of the way. And then Jeff Hardy's like, whoa. You're not even the greatest champion of all time in your family. And then the Usos were like, oh. And then they just super kicked them. And then Roman speared him. We head to next week. Next week, we are in Miami, Florida. Right? Jeff Hardy has a match against Jey Uso. Swanton Bomb defeats Jey Uso clean. Jimmy Uso is kind of mad. Roman's shaking his head from the backstage on his little recline. He's like, damn, that's Jeff Hardy. And then all of a sudden, you know, we cut back from commercial, right? And all of a sudden here, it doesn't matter what The Rock is cooking. The crowd goes so crazy. Nobody expected this. Rock is here. He cuts the promo. He said, it's good to be home. It's good to be home.
Said it twice?
Huh?
He said it's good to be home twice.
Yes. And he says, you know, he made so many movies, and he might go to Hollywood and do all of this movie, and he might be part of the Fast and Furious family, but his actual family is in SmackDown. He loves WWE, and he's gonna do a promo for some movie. Okay, that's why he's here. He's like, you know, I'm telling you about this great movie, Fast and the Furious 10. It's coming out. It's gonna be me and John Cena. It's gonna be great. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh, it's wrong one. Whatever his theme song is, it's Roman Reigns. He said, I'm so happy. He said, I'm so happy. You can witness my greatness. I hope I do the family proud of being a great champion and the most dominant champion in SmackDown history. in WWE history, and that's his whole gimmick like thing right now. He's like, "Oh, I'm the best champion of all time. Look how many people are defeated. Look my," and then Rock is like, "Of all time." He's like, "Roman, I was the champion once," and then Roman's like, "Well, yeah, but you got defeated by Brock Lesnar. I beat his ass in Crown Jewel," and he's like, "You know what? You know how we do it in the family. 1-on-1, you and me. Let's go. Never done before. We would electrify whatever. Were they gonna have WrestleMania? Los Angeles. We're gonna electrify the building.
Well, this one's in Dallas. This one coming up is in Dallas.
Okay, we're gonna electrify Dallas. It's gonna be never seen before. You and me, the great one, against the tribal chief." It's like, no, you didn't earn it. And he just leaves. And then Rock is like, with his eyebrows like, hmm? And then we get to next week. Jeff Hardy goes to Adam Pearce after he's in a wheelchair after getting beat up by Brock Lesnar. He just recovered. He recently came back, and he's like, "You know what? Let me just have one more chance. Let me have one more title match in my career. I know I can do it. Let me prove myself. I've been doing well these days." So he's more throughout the weeks. And Adam Pearce is like, "You know what? Sure, whatever. Like if Roman says okay, whatever." Because the Elimination Chamber is coming up. And that's where he wants to match. And wrestlers are competing for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. And the winner of the Elimination Chamber on SmackDown side will win a title. And Roman Reigns comes out with Jeff Hardy. They cut a promo together. Do a second. If you win, if I give you this, and you lose, you will no longer be able to challenge for the WWE Championship again. So then Jeff Hardy's like, "Sure, whatever. Yeah. Let Hardy party, And then all of a sudden, you see Adam Pearson getting a massage from Sonya Deville because his neck hurts with the ice pack, and then all of a sudden here, and then you,
hello.
No, and then in his ring gear, he's like, "Come," he's like, "Let me tell you something, Adam Pearce." He does his little Hulk Hogan impression for some reason, and he's like, "Let me get into that elimination chamber. Let me get a match." And then Pearce like, "You know what? You're the most electrifying in the time. Of course, I'll give you one." And then he's like, "You know what? You can go against Happy Corbin." Happy Corbin comes out. Rock comes out. The crowd goes crazy. Happy Corbin's like, "I'm so happy to see you, the great one. You're the most electrifying ever." And then whoever what's his side partner?
Madcap
Moss.
Yeah, he Madcap Moss makes some Rock joke. He's like, you're that must mean you're stone cold, ha ha ha, at night." Or this is just some stupid jokes, and then Rock just beats him in 90 seconds, and everybody cheers. It's not really of a match. The week before Elimination Chambers is a go home. Jeff Hardy and the New Day would face Bloodline. Jeff Hardy would get a win, and SWAT on bombing Jimmy Uso and pinning him. He's getting all these wins against the Uso and Roman's lines. Damn, these fucking Usos. Elimination Chamber would come. Roman wins clean against Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy almost wins, but then, psych out win. You almost thought he was gonna win it, but it's Roman Reigns. He's not gonna win it. And Jeff Hardy's just in the corner, like, "Oh, thank you." He gives a standing ovation. The Roman's like, "Oh, whatever." Then Rock would win the Elimination Chamber, entering last, defeating Cesaro, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. Then good into Friday, Rock would cut a promo, and Roman's like, "You know what? How about this? You just joined the Bloodline. You are apparently you're gonna stay in WWE for a little bit. So nobody join me. It's the most dominant faction ever. Make our family proud, Rock. Make it proud." And then Rock's like, "What are you talking about, jabroni? Like, I'm gonna ass all over Dallas and get that Universal Championship." And then Roman just keeps looking disappointed and just walks off. So the next week would come and it would advertise as a Rock concert. So Rock would make silly songs about Roman in diapers when Roman was when Rock was winning championships or whatever, even if that doesn't make sense. And then Roman comes out. He's like, you know, I'm so disappointed in you. Like, you make fun of me and my family and yours in front of everyone. How you have changed from the man I met, from the man that raised my arm in 2015 at the Royal Rumble.
14.
15.
Isn't it 14?
No.
It was
14. 14 won Batista.
14 was Batista.
Yeah, don't interrupt me when you have
You're
facts back.
going forever on promos. Come on, let's get it.
Hey, okay. We're going. So he's like, you know what? I faced family members trying to go against me before. He looks at Jimmy. He looks at Jay. He's like, it's not gonna be any different. And then Rock's like, you know what? You haven't faced an electric entertainer like me. Okay, you have never. The next week, the Usos would face Rock in a handicap match. He beat those jabronis all over. Let's say they were in Charlotte. He beat them all over Queen City, and but then after the match, Roman spears him, and then he would tweet. Then we would have a contract signing to the go home week, and a small brawl pursuits. But Roman's never got able to get any offense into Rock. He retreats, and then all of a sudden you see Paul Heyman set up for Rock Bottom, and Rock Bottom through the table. Paul Heyman is gone, and the Usos look destroyed. They're like, "What the hell?" They come in. He Rock Bottoms them. He stacks them. He does the people's elbow. We go off air. Was it 38, whatever it is? Rock and Mania started putting on a classic 25-minute Rock. By the way, his entrance is he's gonna come from a helicopter, and he's gonna have like a, and he looks, and everybody's like going crazy. He has like he has like balls running around. He has the most like elaborate like entrance ever, right? So they put on a 25-minute classic, and a ref bump happens with what's his name? The blonde one.
Charles Robinson.
Yeah, Charles Robinson, right?
Golden Age.
And then the Usos come and just super kick Rock, and they're like, "Let's referee, come on!" And Roman was like, "Where the hell's the referee?" He was pinning him, but Roman's dead. Like he's like, slumped over. And then all of a sudden, you hear glass break. Stone Cold Steve Austin on a 4-wheeler rushes down the thing. He started Jay. And then all of a sudden he takes his 360 Stone Cold 360 shirt off. He has a referee shirt on. He's like, I'm gonna be the damn referee on this match. Get up, come on. Rock and he would referee this as a fair fight moment, and Rock would continue fighting for another 5 minutes. Then all of a sudden, a Superman punch gets counted into Rock Bottom, right? And then instead of Rock pinning him, he does he sets up for the people's elbow, and then when he comes back from the ropes, Roman spears him 1, 2, 3. Everyone's shocked. The Usos are still dead somewhere. Then you see Paul Heyman in a wheelchair rolling down the long entrance. He's like, "My tribal chief, I knew it." And then all of a sudden you see a face-off between. You of course you have the face-off in the beginning of the match, but you have the face-off again, and then Roman actually put out his hand, takes it, and then you see they recreate the classic image of Roman getting his hand held high and Rock pointing at him, and you hear the boos all over, and that's how it ends the show.
Interesting way to end your WrestleMania with the booze.
That's how I always want my WrestleMania to end. But no, I get it. I do get it. Roman's gonna get booed.
We can't hear you. I don't know.
There we 15.
I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
They were gonna boom regardless. Have it be a recreation of 2015, but that was my booking.
All right, Eric's up.
My turn. So I'm booking Chris Jericho's retirement match. So this is a bit longer than my last one was. So I have some notes in front of me. I'm going to try not to miss anything because I worked really hard on this.
Oh god!
When I say longer, I don't mean I'm going to talk for like 30 minutes. It literally it's longer than my last one because my last one was like 6 or 7 minutes.
No, it wasn't.
Eric has been working on this since we ended the stream when we
Yes, he has.
Okay, so the start date of mine, it's a little ambiguous. I don't necessarily have like a pay-per-view that it starts at. I just it's ending at Revolution 2023. So sometime in around mid 2022, probably let's just say around Double or Nothing 2022. Chris Jericho has been not running the tag team division, but he's been a tag team wrestler with Sammy Guevara for a little bit. They decided to go at it as a tag team, and they've been doing really well and winning a lot of matches. But it's increasingly obvious that Chris Jericho, he's on his last legs. He's wearing cement shoes, however you want to say it. He's not the man he used to be, and Sammy's having to do a lot of the work to get the wins. But at the end of the day, they are getting the wins because Sammy is carrying them. So it comes to the point where there's a number one. They have their annual number one contenders tag team battle royal, where the winners get a title shot, and they're entered in that. And they have a backstage. Interview where they ask, what are you guys' thoughts going into the match? And they're both talking about how excited they are to be in the match. They can't wait to win, go on to challenge for the titles, win the titles, blah blah blah. They're so excited. And as they're walking off, so Jericho walks off, and as Sammy's walking off, you see somebody kind of tap his shoulder, but you don't see who because the camera's super tight. And then Sammy turns, he's like, "What do you want?" And it pans over to none other than the salt of the earth MJF. He's like, "I know, Sammy. I just wanted to wish you good luck on the match tonight. How does it feel knowing that you're going in at a disadvantage?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, this is a tag team battle royal, and you don't have a partner." He's like, "Yeah, I have Chris." He's like, "Yeah, but what help has Chris really been?" He's like, "What do you mean? We've been in this together." He's like, "Have you guys? Because what I see and what everyone else sees is that he's been holding you back." And they have a little exchange about that. MJF walks off, and Sam's like, "MJF, you're crazy." So they enter the match, and Jericho gets dumped in less than 3 minutes. And so he gets dumped, and Sammy sees him dumped, and he kind of gets this look on his face, like almost kind of an out-of-body experience. Like we're calling, like, "Wow, that was really fast. Maybe you kind of are slowing me down a little bit." But then Sammy goes absolutely crazy in the number one contenders match, ends up winning it all by himself. Him and Jericho become the number one contenders. But as Sammy wins, he dumps the Death Triangle last. He's dead tired because he went bell to bell, 30-plus minute match. But Jericho jumps in fresh as a daisy because he's been out for so long. And he's jumping around, he's excited, and Sammy can barely stand up. And you can see just a little bit of resentment on Sammy's face. And then they get their title shot. And during the match, it's the same thing. Jericho, every time Jericho gets in the match, he's blown up and tired in a matter of minutes and has to come out of the match. So Sammy's having to carry the load again. And you can tell that it's starting to eat away. He's starting to get a little bit annoyed with it. So then at one point, and the champions are still the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros have been held for however long it's been. And so at one point, Sammy's going for a hot tag to Jericho, and Jericho's reaching over the ropes for the tag. And right before Sammy gets the tag, Penta goes up, knocks Jericho off the apron. But as he knocks him off the apron, Sammy rolls him up, not small package, schoolboy roll up, but uses the ropes to get levered. He puts both his feet on the top rope. The ref doesn't see it, counts 3. So Jericho and Sammy win the titles, but Jericho didn't see Sammy cheat. So they're celebrating, they're excited. And then when they go to replays, they're like, Sammy's like, "Yeah, watch this. And then Jericho sees for the first time since he was on the floor when it happened, for the first time he sees that Sammy cheated and used the ropes. So you don't hear what Jericho's saying, but you read his lips. He's like, "Wait, you put your foot on the ropes. Why'd you do that?" And they go off air with Jericho looking kind of disappointed, kind of confused, doesn't understand what. And Sammy's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We got the titles." And then the next episode of Dynamite, it opens up with the new tag team champions, and they cut a promo talking about And then Sammy's saying how awesome it is they're champs. Jericho's excited to be champs. And then Jericho says, but there is a problem. He calls out the former champs, the Lucha Bros. And he says, it only came to my attention after the fact. But he's like, I want to direct everyone's attention to the screen to show what exactly happened. He shows, everyone sees that is reminded Sammy is the ropes. He says, look, this isn't how we want to win the titles. He's saying we the whole time. He's talking as if he's talking for himself and Sammy, as if they talked about this. But as he's talking, Sammy's looking really confused. So Jericho says, we want to be the tag team champions. However, we want to win them the right way. That wasn't the right way. So what we're going to do, we want to have a mulligan on this. So what we're going to do, and he says, I've talked to Tony Khan. We are returning the titles to you guys, and we're redoing our championship match in the main event tonight. And the crowd goes crazy. Lucha Brothers are excited. Sammy looks pissed. Based on his reaction, you can tell Jericho did not talk to him about this. This is not something they agreed on. This is Jericho's going rogue. And he says, and because this is all our fault, we're going to let you, the Lucha Brothers, decide the match stipulation. And now Sammy's just furious. You can see it all over his face. And the Lucha Brothers are like, well, you know what? We're luchadors. We're best when we can fight together. So we're going to challenge you guys to a tornado tag match. And Sammy's just pissed. And then so everyone leaves the ring. Sammy's furious. Later you see Sammy's backstage arguing with Jericho. Jericho's like, Sammy, look, you know what you did was wrong. I get it. But this is, I've been with you since you started in AEW. This isn't, you've learned better from me that's like, this isn't how we do things. We're going to win it again. It's no big deal. Jericho walks off. MJF comes back in the picture. He says, you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean now? You see what everyone's been saying about him holding you back? He's overtly holding you back. He took something away from you. And now Sammy just starts to think about it a little bit. So we get to the main event. It's a tornado tag match, so all four guys are in the ring. As soon as the bell rings, Sammy starts walking up to the Lucha Bros, as they all are, to engage in the match. But then out of nowhere, he bows up and he super kicks Chris Jericho. Starts raining fists down on him. The Lucha Brothers are shocked. They don't know what's going on. So Sammy, as heels tend to do, he sits up on the top rope, perched, presents the Lucha Bros with their prey. The Lucha Brothers hit their finish. They pin Jericho. They retain their championships. They celebrate. They head off. Sammy jumps down, circles Jericho a few times, grabs a mic. He says, Chris, do you want to know why I did it? Do you want to know why I put my foot on the ropes? It's because I can't win with you. Nobody can win with you. You're not Y2J anymore. You're not the Painmaker anymore. You're just fat, slow Chris Jericho, and you can't get it done. And you can't get it done in this ring anymore. That was the only way we were going to win. And then he says, you've been all you've been doing is holding me back when I should be at the top of this company right now, but instead I'm fucking around here with you. We are done. And that's how the show closes. And Jericho's just devastated. And then the next night, hold on, I'm catching up in my notes. As Sammy, he walks up the ramp, and MJF walks out, and MJF's just looking just about as satisfied as ever. So Sammy extends his hand to MJF to shake his hand, and the only way that MJF can, being the shit-eating heel he is he goes, big hug to Sammy Guevara, because now they're together. It was MJF that helped him see the lights, and that's how they actually go off the air. I forgot about that. So then the next nothing's happening on Rampage, because fuck Rampage. Everything that's happening is on Dynamite. So the next week on Dynamite, it opens with Jericho, and he cuts a really deep emotional promo. He's like, I've been thinking a lot about what happened. And you know what, Sammy, you are right. Maybe I have lost a step or two, but everyone my age is a step or two. But I want you to know that I'm not going to forget about what you did to me. We are going to have this issue is not resolved. I'm going to make sure it gets resolved, But before I can prove anything to you, I need to prove something to myself that I am still that guy. So basically what happens is Jericho takes himself off TV for a little bit. He's got to get himself right. So he's off TV for about a month. So that's like 4 or 5 episodes of Dynamite. We don't see him in the ring. We see a couple clips of him just working out in the gym, just working really, really hard, trying to get himself right. And while this is happening, Sammy and MJF have gone on a dominant heel run. Sammy's gotten the AEW championship, and they're just running roughshod over the entire roster. And then it comes time for the casino ladder match to decide the number 1 contender for Sammy's AEW championship. And Sammy and MJF are cutting an arrogant heel promo at the beginning of the night saying, it doesn't matter who wins. They say that I don't care who the 6 people are, but the 6 people plus the Joker, person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter which one of them win. It doesn't matter who the Joker is. Sammy Guevara is the Spanish god. No one can touch this guy. And then you hear Judas start playing. Jericho comes out looking fantastic. He's lost a bunch of weight. He's put on some muscle. He doesn't look like
I know.
He doesn't look like.
How much weight did he lose?
He didn't lose like 50 pounds, but he lost like a good amount of weight. But the point is he looks in shape. Like he doesn't look like he's gonna be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He looks in much better shape.
He has a 10-pack.
Yeah, so he comes to the ring. He says, and MJF and Sammy look shocked. And so Jericho's like, I know you guys are surprised to see me. I know that everyone here has known me to be a man to not necessarily be a man of subtlety. And while I hate spoilers, but I really wanted to see your face for myself when I tell you that I am the Joker in the casino ladder match. And they look dumbfounded. They can't believe it. So that's the main event is the ladder match. Chris Jericho wins. He doesn't look like he's not as good as he was in his prime, obviously, but he does look noticeably faster, sharper, stronger in the ring than he was before. So he gets the poker chip. He's the number 1 contender. He's going to face Sammy at Revolution. And hold on, sorry, I'm just crossing the things out of my note that I've passed. So we're going to fast forward a little bit because you guys kind of know how I like to book these types of big feuds. They're doing a lot of cutting intense promos. They're doing just a lot of vignettes and not a lot of brawling. So on the go home episode of Dynamite, it's the contract signing. And MJF, he's kind of taken on the mouthpiece role for Sammy. And everyone comes out. MJF, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara, they're out there at the table. And MJF says, you know what, Chris? You've been a thorn in my side ever since I began here. And it took Sammy noticing my wisdom to realize that you were doing the same to him. We are both so sick of you, and so is everybody. So we want this to be the last we ever see of you. And so if you're man enough to accept our terms, Sammy will put up his title at Revolution, but you have to put up your career. And MJF goes to sign the contract. He says, before I sign this, MJF, if you could be so kind as to shut up, take a step back. I want to talk to Sammy. So Sammy sits down in the chair across from Jericho. He says, Sammy, look, when AEW first started, I'm the reason that you're here. Because when this all started, I'm the only one that wanted to take a chance on you because I saw something in you that nobody else did. I saw potential and I saw greatness. And you've thrown it all away for this piece of shit to the point that you can't even speak for yourself anymore. He says, I took you under my wing because I saw potential in you, and I was going to make damn sure that if it's the last thing I ever did in this business, it's make sure that you realize your potential. So, Sammy, I'm more than happy to put my career on the line. Because if it is my last match, if anybody was going to end my career, I'm glad it's going to be you. And Sammy looks completely conflicted. This is not what he was expecting. He almost looks like he's not on the verge of tears, but he's shook. He's like, I don't know. So Jericho signs it, very calmly signs it, stands up, walks away. It ends with Sammy looking very conflicted, and MJF's trying to like snap him out of it. Like, oh, he's trying to get in your head. Don't listen to him, blah, blah, blah. That's how it ends. So we get to the pay-per-view Revolution. They're in the main event. And it's not a 20-minute classic. It's about probably a 12, 13-minute match. And even though Chris Jericho is in better shape, even though he is moving around the ring better, you can just tell he's no match for Sammy. However, you can see it every turn when Sammy can end the match. He hesitates because the wheels are slowly turning in his head that he doesn't want to retire Chris Jericho. He sees Chris Jericho in a different light now. He sees that that what MJF was telling him about Chris Jericho was bullshit. So he doesn't want to do it. But MJF keeps egging him on. So eventually it does happen. Sammy does hit his finish very reluctantly, pins Chris Jericho, and I was gonna say same kind of vibe as Ric Flair HBK without the "I'm sorry, I love you" kind of stuff. But so he pins him on the verge of tears, hates what he just did. MJF jumps in the ring, he's jumping up and down, going crazy. He raises Sammy's hand, and Sammy immediately pulls his arm away from MJF and just says, "Get the fuck out of here." And then he helps Chris Jericho to his feet. They hug each other, and Chris, he doesn't have a mic, but you can hear him very faintly. He says, "Sammy, I'm so proud of you." And Sammy says, "Chris, thank you so much for everything." Sammy leaves the ring, leaves Jericho in the middle, as "Thank you, Jericho" chants, sing Jericho into retirement.
Okay.
You made MJF look like a big fucking pussy at the end of that.
I do have some gripes with the story, but I'll leave that.
Sammy just said, "Get out of here." And he said, "Okay."
I don't even know if that's PG.
All right. So,
buddy.
I will admit, I did not start this till very late in the evening tonight. I've been busy.
You what?
I didn't start like this story until like very late in the evening.
Today?
Because I've been busy. I've been busy. So.
No, I get that.
So my story is Bray Wyatt's AEW debut, not Bray Wyatt's debut overall, but Bray Wyatt's.
Okay, I'll change it. Give me a second.
So I'm not going to get into like promos and stuff like you guys did because I don't want to be here all night. But so basically, we're going to start at the casino. Wait. I'm trying to read what it had. All right, so we're starting at what is that called? The casino ladder match? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay. So Adam Henry Page is the Joker in this match, but Adam Cole is also in this match. The rest of the people are not in this match. So we get to the end. We get to the end of the match. It's Hagman, Page and Cole are basically battling on top of the ladder, and the Elite comes out, and the Elite starts beating up on Page, and Dark Order's music hits, but the Dark Order just stands at the top. The Anna Jay runs to the ring, but she's the only one that runs to the ring, and all the rest of the Dark Order just sit at the ramp and watch Page get beat up. Anna Jay's trying to come on, but no one's helping him, and Adam Cole ends up winning the match. So we go to the next night. The next night on, I was gonna just say on Raw. Next night on Raw. Next Dynamite. Page opens up the show. He's like, "I don't know what I did to these people for them to just turn their back on me when I needed them the most after I've been there for them, but I need answers." So he asked the whole Dark Order crew to come out, and John Silver has a mask on because he's ugly. So
Stop.
He is upgraded to a mask now because I do not like him. So Paige is like, "I need answers." And then Anna Jay is the only one really on Paige's side here that she doesn't understand what is going on. And then he's like, I don't know, one of the Dark Order guys, Evil Uno or whatever the fuck his name
Number
is.
five. Number five.
Yeah, sure, whatever his name is. He gets on the mic. He said, "Well, you needed us, and you abandoned us. So when we needed you, you abandoned us. So when you needed us, we wanted to watch you suffer. So we have a new leader now. We have a new guy that can take control of this stuff." And then Malachi Black's music hits, and Malachi Black tells Paige, "Get out of the ring." And he's like, and he pushes him, and then Malachi Black Mass to end the show. So at the next pay-per-view is Paige versus Black, and a great match. But Adam Hangman Page ends up winning the match. And the Dark Order is just surrounding the ring, and one of the guys in the ring goes, and then you hear Braun Strowman comes in. He's debuting it. Hey, I'll get the Bray Wyatt, okay? I'll get the Bray Wyatt. Braun Strowman attacks Hangman Page, leaves him laying not for dead, but like he's banged up. He's banged up, and they all do the little. And so that's the way the show ends. So let's see. Okay, so Adam Hangman Page ends up getting in a feud with Braun Strowman. He beats Braun Strowman. So Adam Hangman Page is really keep going. He's climbing the ladder, so he finally gets a shot at Kenny Omega. He beats Kenny Omega. Page is the world champion right now. Page is the world champion. And they're all celebrating. There's a ref still in the ring right now, right? So he comes out. The Dark Order comes out and said, "What else do you have for me? What do I need to do to get back on your side?" They said, "Well, you have to fight our leader for the championship." And they're like, "I already fought your leader. I beat him, and I beat the old junkie Braun Strowman. I beat him too." And then no. Those weren't our leaders. Those are new members while you were gone in the shadows. This is our new leader. And Bray Wyatt, obviously not his music hits, but Bray Wyatt goes. And they're all standing like this, like druids, just like this, when Braun Strowman walks in. I mean, not Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt walks in. Bray Wyatt shakes his head. Anna Jay kicks Adam Page in the nuts. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail to Hangman Page. Bray Wyatt, 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt's the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And that's how Bray Wyatt AEW debut. I didn't go further than that because
Okay. Wow. Okay. So who do you want to start with in terms of? Do we just want to talk about what we like and don't like, or do we just want to go right?
I think last time I think we revealed our votes, and then I think we revealed our votes first last time, and then talked about it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay, so Dom reveals first. No changing. Mine's
okay,
locked.
I'm writing it right now.
Yeah.
I just wrote it.
Mine's locked here.
So
yeah, mine's locked in.
I'm gonna say the gripes I have with both stories. Eric, there's no inner circle. I'm pretty sure it would make more sense if like Jack Hager was like, "What, Sam? What the fuck you doing?" You know. Same with Ortiz and Santana. So that kind of threw me off. Also, like, I don't know. MJF was. I like the inclusion. Beating him. There's another gripe I had. I think you should have debuted. Chris Jericho revealing that he was the Joker was kind of like anticlimactic. I think you should have just had him beat the Joker and just come out of nowhere. Other than that, the story was fully thought out well, I would say. And then Cody, yours was bizarre, boy. Malachi Black joining the Dark Order.
Bray Wyatt's a bizarre dude.
I know, but I like the Braun Strowman inclusion. The biggest issue I have with you, when you said like, "Oh, Adam Cole," it's like, "Why'd you guys hurt me when I helped you?" Like he himself said, like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Stay away with me. So that kind of didn't make sense, at least for me. And that was my really big gripe.
All I know is Pam.
I know, but that was like, well, it doesn't really make sense at all. And then Eric with in the circle, like those three guys are like, oh, well, whatever.
I should have. But I should have. It's too late to mention it now, but I meant to mention at the beginning when I said that they've gone at it as a tag team. I meant that to mean that the inner circle was done. But
okay, I didn't know that.
Too late, but it's too late now. That's what I meant.
Okay, but I do have Eric in this one. All right.
Do I go or should Eric go?
It's up to you.
I guess I'll go. I'll go first. I'll go next. Yeah, mine's gonna be kind of quick, I guess. Because I liked them both. Yeah, Dom, you're 2 for 2 on just crazy freaking stories. I like the way you book, just like throw in legends and shit, and Jeff Hardy's always gonna. And then Jeff Hardy's always going to be there, and Finn Balor's there. But I did like them. I liked the overall story with them, with the family, and I love that Roman stood tall at the end because that's what makes sense. Even though WrestleMania ends with boos, because Roman Reigns is always going to be the main event, and him winning is going to get boos. Sometimes you just have to do it. Cody, my biggest gripe with yours is Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt would never be their names in AEW. Never be their names. It would be Adam Scherr and Wyndham Rotunda. Damn it. But anyway, other than that, I mean, this one, I'm really glad I didn't get this one because there kind of is only one way you can book Bray Wyatt's debut, and it is leading the Dark Order. So it was a little that.
It's very hard.
Yeah. In that sense, it was kind of predictable, but it was a very unexpected way to get there, which was awesome. But I ended up voting for Dom.
Oh, so I have the deciding vote on who wins. All right. So my first gripe, Eric, I thought your story was tremendous in the first half. I didn't really like the second half with the MJF stuff at the end. I feel like I don't think MJF would ever do leading someone to Sammy Guevara to beat Chris Jericho. I feel like MJF is so cocky he would try to do it himself. So I love your first half of your story. I loved it. Dom, I'm gonna be honest. The first part felt like a Jeff Hardy push. I was like, what the hell is going on? I feel like Jeff Hardy's just getting. What are we doing? How to push Jeff Hardy back to the main event? But then I liked what you did with the Rock entering himself into the Elimination Chamber and then doing all that stuff. That was cool. So you guys both had good parts of your story, and some of them kind of fell off.
If Jeff Hardy, I'll take it.
My vote is for Eric.
Good.
Yeah, I also kind of don't like the second half of mine. It was really fucking hard to. I said from the beginning, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get there, but I know what I want to do.
Yeah, Eric's was really the first half was great. I feel like the turn happened really quickly too.
Yeah.
I would have, what I would have loved? One part if I could have changed about Eric's, switch MJF with Kevin Owens.
Oh,
that would have been cool.
That would have been great. Cody, what would you have voted for me if I would have replaced Jeff Hardy with Riddle?
No, I feel like you just have way too. I feel like the story should have been more. If I had the story, I would have had The Rock costing Roman Reigns the championship at this WrestleMania, and then leading up to the next WrestleMania. Kind of
booking, Cody. What do you think I am?
What?
That's a lot of booking the whole year.
Well, you didn't have to book the whole year. You still booked a lot for you to you didn't have to go into all the
detail. I just booked in detail.
Yeah.
All right. Have a
yes, sir. And so that was our second episode of Fantasy Booking. But now as much as I'm sure we'd all love to continue talking about each other. Actually, well, should we do the crown jewel first, or should we spin for fantasy booking topics?
Let's do crown jewel first because I don't want to take too long on crown jewel. It's almost 11 o'clock.
All right, so last night was Crown Jewel. Do we want to give quick initial thoughts on the show overall? Or
I would just go into matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly. Neither of you watched the pre-show. I'm just going to talk about it really quick. It was the Usos versus the Hurt Business. It was announced hours before the pre-show, so it was a very, very last-minute edition. Usos obviously won. I thought it was a fairly solid match. If this was on the main card, I would have had really high expectations for it because how good all four of those guys are. But solid pre-show match, very predictable outcome, but nothing wrong with it. I just hate seeing the Hurt Business lose.
Yeah, I get that. But they're gonna always lose because they're goons. They're goons.
Yeah. But I know. They're now goons, but I wish they'd be what they were before the breakup. But whatever. So going into the main card, I was pleasantly surprised that they decided to start off with Edge versus Seth Rollins because I thought for sure they would save that for later in the card because of how high profile it was. But I also really didn't want it late in the card because we all knew this match was going to get time, like lots and lots of 20 plus minutes. And if you do that really late in the card, it's going to be really hard to follow. I'll start. So I went into this match with a different mindset than I normally do because you guys remember what I thought about their SummerSlam match. I kind of had the same thought about their SmackDown match at MSG. I kind of told myself, I'm never going to be a fan of the match that these two have because for me, they're so fucking slow, ridiculously slow. However, and this match was no different. It was also really slow. However, I will say in this match, it made sense because in this match, they were taking a lot more heavy bumps. They had tables, they had ladders, chairs. They were wrapping chain around their bodies. So it made sense that they needed to sell those, blows a little bit longer. So the slower pace, it not only made sense, it did benefit them. It benefited them as far as the actual sense of the match. So I didn't have that much of a problem with it. I thought 27 minutes was a bit much. I kind of got lost in the last 3 minutes. Kind of lost me for a little bit because when Seth does the chain, him wrapping the chain around his foot took so long, and it makes sense.
It didn't fall off though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I get why he did it.
Kyle O'Reilly kept falling off.
It reminded me of when Paul Heyman couldn't get Roman's handcuffs unlocked. But anyway, I'm not saying so what I was gonna say is, so when Seth hits what should be the finishing blow with the kill switch, and when he chooses not to go for the pin and goes for extra punishment, it makes sense. It makes sense that that's where he would make a mistake and cost himself the match. He's a cocky heel. He thinks he can get away with anything. When Edge did it, it's first of all, it's weird to have them both do it back to back, where they both just should go for the pin but don't, and especially with Edge because you knew that's where he was going to win. So I'm not saying I didn't like the finish. I'm saying that the finish I wish just happened a little bit faster. But I'm glad Edge won for the sake of the story that they were telling with this feud. However, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's ridiculous that Seth loses.
So, are you saying that you didn't like that Edge took so long to get to he should have stopped attacking him and just pinned him to win?
I think did he hit a spear and then the stomp?
Yeah,
is that what happened?
I think so. Yeah,
I kind of just wish he either hit the spear and then went straight into the stomp, or just spear pin, not spear and then take multiple minutes fucking with whatever he was doing. That's just my opinion.
I do just because Seth Rollins went in kayfabe sense. Seth Rollins went to the guy's house. He threatened his family basically. So I can see where where he would want to hurt Seth rather than just beating him, which that makes sense to me. But overall, this match I thought it was excellent. It's tied for the women's match with me because it was just I love Seth Rollins is so fucking good, and Edge is still so fucking good that
I meant to say I'm sorry. I meant to say that I think the bump of the night was Seth when he got knocked off the top rope into the cell.
I've never seen that.
I think that was the bump of the night.
Yeah, where he bounced. Dom, do you look confused? Do you remember the spot or no?
Who, me?
Yeah, you kind of were like,
Maybe not off my head. It's
oh, he got thrown, like pushed off the top
Yeah,
rope.
Seth was like
onto the
setting up the
cell,
Phoenix Splash.
and he like bumped from the cell to the onto the table.
I'll look it up. I'll look it
It
up.
was gnarly.
Yeah.
And that's so it had to have been so hard to have taken that bump like safe.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but I want to say that I disagree with you, Eric. With the it took a little long. It was always gonna be a slow match, you know. Edge won it in a Hell in a Cell. This is a blood feud, I like to call it. There's not a feud for championship. There's not a feud for I'm better than you. There's a feud that's hate with pure hatred and personal. Having it in a Hell in a Cell was a great idea because I think that is a great antithesis for something like that. Edge taking his time, Seth Rollins taking his time because they want to meticulously, because they do, those are the wrestlers, these two wrestlers, they are very meticulous about their work and how they wrestle, right? And they would meticulous, you know,
Why trying to use so many big words?
meticulously tear each other down, literally almost limb by limb. And I feel like them taking time. I mean, my mom was like, Edge looks like. I'm like, yeah, he is. I mean, and Seth Rollins, in the match in general, made me disbelieve. I'm like, Seth is gonna win. Edge, like, survives this, and then he hit him with the first, and I'm like, there's no way he's gonna get up and win. So great match. Probably the best Hall of Hell. What 2017? Whenever the best because 2017 had the Usos and New Day, and it also had which I thought was better. Nothing against this one, right? Because I think that was a great tag team match all time, maybe for me. And then Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens was pretty good. But this match
I think this was better than that.
I would say yeah, but not better than the Usos New Day, in my opinion.
I honestly do. I agree with Eric that like it was cool to end the story, but I do think that Seth Rollins should.
Yeah, and I do want to clarify before we move on that I didn't have that my problem wasn't when I said it was slow, wasn't with the overall pace, because like I said, it made sense for the pace to be slower because they were taking a lot more brutal bumps and they were using foreign objects, so it makes sense to sell those for longer. My problem was I felt like the finish just kind of was dragged out a little bit. That was what I meant by it.
Because there's someone that were gonna punish each other. They're like, you know what?
I also do want to say we do bash on the commentary quite a bit. I did like the great when Edge was doing his entrance. They made a note last time he was in the Hell in a Cell was versus the Undertaker. That's so like that's how you know that's oh my god, that was so long ago.
13 years ago. Wow.
But yeah, if I was rating this match, it would probably be like 4.5 stars.
Yeah, 4.5.
Right under 5 stars for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I would have given it like 3.5. But anyway,
harsh over here.
You're a hater, Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so the next match we had Mansoor, the Saudi Arabian Superman, versus Mustafa Ali, WWE's favorite guy to fuck around. You know, he cuts one fantastic straight facts promo about Legends Night, and ever since then, they've been fucking this guy around. He's so good.
I mean, they've been fucking him around before that.
You know what problem I have with this match? It was way too slow. Way too slow.
Yeah. So this one, I didn't have that high of expectation. Ali is obviously really good. We all know that Ali's super talented. I haven't really seen that much of Mansoor. I haven't been very impressed with him when I've seen him in tag team action. So, you know, Ali obviously led this as best as he could. It wasn't a great match, but it wasn't awful. There was nothing egregiously horrible. You knew Mansoor was going to win. Ali was just there to make him look good in front of his people, give Mansoor a win. He got that. And then I got really just thrown off by the post-match here because...
let's talk about the post-match in a second.
Okay, yeah. So what did you guys think of the match?
For me, you have to remember, Mansoor isn't a pro wrestler for very long.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the first tryouts when they went to Saudi. This was 3.5 years ago, and for him to have this good of a match already, I'm impressed. I had no gripes about this match. It was gonna be luchador style, high flying, fast pace, and we got that. they had a match today at SmackDown. I think it was just as good. I think even better, to be honest. I think this match was what it's supposed to do. Got the babyface over very well. The crowd was really into it. They were invested. Man Stewart's a damn superstar over there, and WWE actually is like, oh, maybe we should have the baby town, the hometown hero win for once. And I'm glad they don't fuck it up with Man Stewart, because if they did, then that would just be awful booking.
The crowd was invested. I was not. It was an alright match, I guess.
I'm kind of in the same book.
But like, I think I was also like, oh my god, that match that just happened was amazing. Like, I can't get into another match right away.
It's hard to follow a match like that.
Yeah,
So, and I guess it was good for what it was, but at the same time, I feel like Ali deserves a lot better than going over a guy losing to Mansoor clean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
and it was about to get a lot worse for Ali, unfortunately, because after the match, Ali starts.
I have no problem with this whatsoever.
You know, I have no problem with what they did. It's just like, goddamn, why does Ali have to get it again? So
I need to be honest. I was like, yo.
So Ali, he attacks Mansoor after the bell. Immediately, you know that they're probably going to bring in. I immediately thought they were going to bring in another Saudi Arabian professional wrestler that like we don't know about, but they might. And then random ass music hits, and someone in a mask comes out, and not in a mask, whatever they call that, what he had wrapped around his face.
Hijab, isn't it?
I don't think it was a hijab. Whatever. Okay, his face was covered. I don't want to be like say something like racially insensitive, but his face was covered. He's walking to the ring, and I noticed that because I could see his hands that it was a black guy. I'm like, if this is either Reggie or fucking R-Truth.
I thought it was.
I mean, how could you? The only way that would have been Reggie R-Truth is if Reggie was on R-Truth. That guy was tall.
Yeah, so he makes his way to the ring very slowly.
I'll complain about that. Save that for me.
So he slowly takes reveals his face. I didn't know who the fuck it was. But the crowd's going crazy because it's some side. It ended up being the like silver medalist in karate, and he was like on Team Saudi. So the crowd's going crazy. Ali tries to do something and gets kicked in the face for his trouble. Yeah, I mean, look, that's good. They have to. You have to, when you're in Saudi Arabia. This is a really big event for them. You have to do something like that. You have to give them a local guy for them to cheer for. It's just like, God damn it! What? Ali just lost a match to a guy that's not that good. Why does he have to bump again?
Okay, Mansoor isn't that bad. You need to stop disrespecting.
He had to though because Mansoor was in the place. So, but I have two comments on this. One, what a work kick. That kick looked legit. First off, and second off, what the fuck is this guy? The Undertaker? He took fucking 10 minutes to get to the ring.
That was one of the slowest.
Looks like he had shit in his pants walking to the ring. He got hurry up. I got some places to be.
Yo, he took it in all the way. He said embrace the moment. I will embrace
and
the
then,
moment.
When he's taking off whatever, we don't have a name for it. When he was taking that off, my God, it was like he was a mummy unwrapping his fucking thing. It took forever.
I was like, is this like some kind of debut? Like a big.
I mean, the way he kicked, he definitely could debut in WWE.
I don't remember what his last name was. His name was like Malik or Tariq something.
I'm not gonna try, dude. Like he looked like when he took his thing off, he looked like a fucking badass.
He did.
He was like,
sign him right now, WWE. Sign him right now.
I was only disappointed because I didn't know who he was, so I didn't have like a pop moment for it. I was like,
he kind of looks like who's the guy that just fought Jake Paul?
Tyron Woodley.
He kind of looks like Tyron Woodley a little bit. At first, I thought that was him, but I remember Tyron Woodley's like 4'3".
Yeah.
So. All right.
Next, okay, so we get to. I will make up time for myself. RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Amos. Riddle rode out on a camel, singing Randy's theme song like a moron, while Randy Orton, the 14-time world champion and youngest world heavyweight champion in WWE history, walked behind a camel ridden by Riddle, singing like an idiot. So I closed my laptop.
WWE heavyweight.
Oh, so I closed my laptop and I said I will check back in 15.
And you missed nothing. You
The
missed
match was
that.
pretty the match was decent.
The match was decent
okay.
because you have.
I have one
and
big
AJ.
gripe. I have one big gripe.
Oh.
AJ Styles. When you're fighting Randy Orton, why bother doing the phenomenal forearm? Every time you do, you get every time you do, you get RKO'd every single time. Like it makes no sense. Like AJ's a smart guy. He should be like, hey, every time I've done this in a match, Randy Orton fucking put me on my fucking back. So maybe not do it.
I mean, this reminds me of when Kenny Omega and Okada have that great matches, and anytime Okada does the Rainmaker, Kenny just fucking knees him in the face every time.
Trouble guy.
I'm like, by the way, congratulations to
congratulations, burying people, burying
and facing the Dragon in next year.
Cody Okada over there, burying all your talent.
Yeah, okay, so the next match we got the championship of the Queen's Crown, Zelina Vega versus Doudrop. I'm not gonna lie, look, I picked Doudrop. I picked Doudrop, but I was very happy Zelina won because
fucking Cody.
I don't want to say she deserves it because Shayna Baszler deserved it, and if she didn't, then Liv Morgan deserves it, and if she didn't, then Toni Storm deserved it, and if she didn't, then Natalya deserved it. But Zelina, out of these two, Zelina Vega, she's at least not as much of a joke, I feel, as Doudrop. You can do something with her as the queen that's legitimate and not a joke like you would with Doudrop and like you will with Xavier Woods. But
King Woods.
But this was the longest match of the tournament at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. And it was the match itself was terrible. Very, very terrible. Neither of these girls are very good. Neither one of these women are good wrestlers. But yeah. Which, by the way, when Doudrop got hit with the Sunset Flip Powerbomb, I think did that record like a 3.2 on the Richter scale or something? I think I read that.
Wow!
Oh wow, Eric, what the hell?
Now we're never gonna get Doudrop on WrestlePoint. Great.
Oh no. I really
want to say out of the Zelina and Doudrop, I prefer. I mean, I didn't pick her, but Zelina at least knows how to talk on the mic. Doudrop doesn't, and Zelina has a better theme song than Doudrop. Doudrop's theme song. Trash. It's trash.
No, I was just about to shit on WWE for not having Zelina on tonight's SmackDown, but then I realized she's on Raw now. So
yeah, but like, how can you have a hit like hit roll? Like I've been singing that song all day, and then you hit Doudrops, and Doudrops is like.
What are you talking about? Wait.
What?
Zelina's song's not hit row.
No, I'm saying.
No, he's talking about in general.
In general, like you can. I mean, that'd be cool if Zelina started into it. That'd be cool.
Okay, but like the only thing I don't get is like if Zelina tried didn't Zelina try doing like a DDT to Doudrop and she couldn't because she was so heavy. Yes. How the fuck is she doing the fucking finisher to her?
Okay, you're not supposed to trust me. I've learned about questioning things. Just don't.
Don't question WWE.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on. So the next match we got, oh god, Goldberg versus. You know what do you say? What do you say about this? The 50-year-old, the 50-year-old. Okay, I can't say age because Bobby's also in his like mid 40s.
Yeah, he's like 45.
Yeah, I will. What I will say, Bobby Lashley. I'm not going to say I don't mean so good in a wrestling sense because he's a fine wrestler as far as like an actual technical wrestling. He's not like fantastic, but he moves so well. Like when he ran for when he ended up going through the table, when he went for the spear, I couldn't like. He is so fucking fast. You should not be that big and be able to move that fucking fast. Because then you juxtapose that with when Goldberg goes for the spear and you see how fucking slow he goes.
Oh my god, yeah. I will say this. You guys can disagree with me or you can agree with me. This is Goldberg's best Saudi Arabia match.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean the bar is very, very low for that.
Very low.
I mean, but like he still did the spot where he had to spear Bobby Lashley onto a table, like a little far away. It was a little
the match. This was another. I think I used this exact same phrase to describe their SummerSlam match. It was a classic Goldberg spot fest. They were going to They were going to have a lot of big moves to hide the fact that Goldberg can't wrestle.
Best jackhammer in years.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Mm-hmm. I was worried he was not going to be able to get Lashley all the way up, but yeah, like it was a typical Goldberg spot fest. Lots of big moves to hide the fact that Goldberg can't wrestle and is now old, so he doesn't have the cardiovascular endurance. Made sure to bury the Hurt Business because getting pinned on the pre-show is not enough these days. You also have to get beat 2-on-1 against a 50-plus-year-old. And
Goldberg, I forgot that this match is under protest for me. Because I thought it was a no holds barred match, and they changed to false count anywhere after predictions. So I would have picked Goldberg if I knew it was false count.
Oh my god! Whatever. This match was fine, honestly. Yeah. Like
it's fine for what it was.
At least we don't have to see Goldberg for a little bit, hopefully.
Oh, also, I'm so sick and tired of the commentators on the Goldberg matches. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Annoying. It's so annoying.
Goldberg.
Especially Byron Saxton.
Let's get going.
Yeah, that's enough. Keep going.
Yes. Next, Xavier Woods versus first ever Universal Champion and guy that almost beat Roman twice and needed to be low blown and have the top rope break for him to lose versus tag team comedy wrestler Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods won.
Part of the greatest tag
I think was the worst
all time. Yeah, that's the guy.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say the or one of?
One of the members.
One of the what? One of the what?
Greatest tag teams of all time. And I will not take it back.
The greatest tag teams. Okay, the greatest tag teams. So why is he winning a fucking singles match against an actual singles wrestler? This I'm going to go on record and I will not take it back, and no one can change my mind. This was the worst booking decision of the show.
No,
this was awful. The wrong man won for the wrong reasons.
We just got done talking about the WWE champion from a week ago losing to fucking a 50-year-old man.
No, this is worse in my opinion.
No,
because Goldberg there's at least an aura of mystique around Goldberg that he is a monster. Woods has never been more than.
No, it's Xavier Woods' destiny to win the King of the Ring.
He won. So okay, hey Vince, my dreams to be WWE champion. Okay, when am I winning the title? Because that's all it takes apparently.
Oh my God, Eric!
That's all it takes.
What was Finn gonna do with the game, the King of the?
Yeah, they're gonna make it a goddamn joke. That's what they're gonna do.
I will
exactly.
say.
So you want Finn Balor to be a goddamn joke? Is that what you're
doing? No, Woods is gonna make it a joke.
I'm gonna defend WWE on this for 2 seconds. If they did not put Xavier Woods over in this match, they would have crucified.
Yep.
Xavier was like the number 3 trend in the world, and because he won.
Who the fuck cares?
I mean, everybody, number 3 trend in the world.
Money.
Hold on, I want to pull something up.
Oh my God, Eric! He's gonna look up merch sales for Xavier.
No, I'm not. In traditional Irish mythology, Balor was king of the Fomorra.
And why is he calling himself Prince?
Balor means he was Prince Devitt before Finn Balor was a name. Okay. Balor means king. Woods is a joke.
This match was good. I enjoyed the finish. The match itself was great. Not better than the next 3 matches, unfortunately. But nothing against that match. Top 5 match. I think this match was good. I expected it to be good.
Top 5 match of what? Of the show?
Top 5 match of the show, yeah.
I mean, there was only like 8 matches.
To foreshadow what a great king he's going to be, he couldn't put the cape on afterward.
No, okay, I'll defend him also. Zelina couldn't either. I think there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, she took it off as well. Or it might be a cultural thing. Who knows?
No, they tried to do it. They just couldn't get it on.
Yeah, the cape was probably just...
Well, yeah, it's a bad thing for Woods with Zelina. It's fine.
Yeah, hope they didn't have any big plans with Finn Balor on Raw because he just lost to a comedy wrestler.
But they're on different brands now, so okay.
It doesn't matter. He lost to a comedy wrestler.
No, it doesn't. Because Seth Rollins is going to...
All right, keep going.
He's going to walk right into the WWE title picture. Watch.
Because he lost to Edge, not Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods is part of one of the greatest factions of all time.
He's always going to be the number 3 guy on New Day, the comedy flunky of New Day.
Faction of all time. So I have a question. Can we even call New Day the best one of the best factions of all time when they weren't even top 2 faction in their era?
Excuse me?
They weren't a top 2 faction.
The Shield?
Better?
The Shield and the Wyatt
Okay.
family.
The Wyatt
No,
family, the
stop.
blood, the
No,
blood,
stop,
the bloodline
stop.
right now. The bloodline right now.
The Wyatt family is so much better than the New
No,
Day.
you
Stop.
need to stop.
Dom, come on.
No, you need to stop.
The Bludgeon Brothers.
giving in the Wyatt. It's not triggered. You just have bad opinions. That's all.
No, Dom. When you're constantly
All right, keep
voted
going.
2-1.
An hour 10. Go. I want to do something before the show ends. And also,
So I'll make this quick. I didn't watch this not because I thought the match would be bad. I'm really not a huge fan of either of these guys in the ring, and I've never been bought into this feud. I don't need to go into the specifics, but I've just never been bought into this feud. So I didn't really care to watch this, and we all knew Big E was winning.
I took a nap. I took a nap and wanted to watch the women's match, so I skipped it.
Understandable. I watched this match, and I didn't have high expectations, but my expectations fodder. This match was good. It was big hitting. Big E and Drew McIntyre shows why there are main event guys, and they backed it up with a great match. Big E with a big win. This is his first, I would say, marquee win. Maybe Bobby Lashley. Did he face Bobby Lashley one-on-one?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, then his second, but
He did, but they were really they did the Big E Lashley thing really weird with like the rematches and interferences, the Hurt Business interfered.
or was it? Did he have
Still
a
cage.
one-on-one clean?
It was a steel cage match. He beat
Oh,
Bobby
yeah,
Lashley.
yeah, good point. That's a cage match. So another big victory. So I think he's gonna stay champion until Finn Balor takes it. Like I said in my fantasy prediction.
So never, because Finn Balor's not in line because he just lost to a comedy wrestler.
Doesn't matter because Seth Rollins is gonna roll in. So who cares?
Also,
Yeah, 'cause he lost to Legend.
the only thing, Big E's going to lose credibility because his next pay-per-view match is going to be against Roman Reigns.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good point. That's a
You're
good
gonna
point.
point.
might tie it again.
But I don't know if you. I don't know if does losing to Roman lose you. I mean, it's not gonna look good because he's gonna get pinned. But I don't know if it loses.
People understand.
Brock Lesnar
No,
lost,
actually,
and look
before
what happened today.
And he'll get. They'll
Before we
probably
get
treat
into
Big E
the
the
final two
same.
matches,
Hmm?
before we get into the final two matches, what sense does it make to do a draft and then the next pay-per-view is about brand supremacy? Like you guys just did a draft
no,
after you
no.
were on the other show.
The way they did the whole draft was stupid to begin with. Like, how are you gonna draft and then be like, okay, this person will join Raw in like 3 weeks, and I'm like, why did we have to have the draft now? Why couldn't we have it after? It just didn't make sense.
And then we
I
have
understand
all
that
these
was
all these feuds of people, like title feuds of people who are going to be on separate brands. So
it doesn't. I don't understand it. I didn't like. I didn't like it. It just bites them in the butt now. It's brand supremacy. Let me tell you something about brand supremacy right now, okay, brother?
Supremacy.
But back in my day, when brand supremacy was a big thing, like 2005, those
Dom,
guys.
there's an M in that word.
Huh?
There's an M in supremacy.
Supremacy.
It's not what you were saying.
Anyway,
you said supremacy.
those guys were bleeding blue, bleeding red. Those guys just joined. And now they're gonna in 1 month be like, oh, I'm all WWE, Raw, all WWE SmackDown. When NXT came, what NXT brought was like a sense of pride for NXT because they've been on that brand for a while now. It actually felt like they want to win for NXT. They want to represent NXT. I don't care who wins. Well,
I'll tell you this right now. This is a bold prediction. Not really bold. The best match in Survivor Series this year is going to be RK Bro versus the Usos.
No.
For the champion versus champion matches, I could probably see that.
I think Roman against Big E is gonna be better.
Oh, we probably get Becky versus Charlotte too. So I guess.
Oh yeah,
Becky versus Charlotte. Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to one of those women.
Speaking of the women, the triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. This is my favorite match of the night. I've had my issues with the build up to this match, but I've had high expectations for this match the whole time, and it didn't disappoint. These are easily three of the top 7 or 8 female wrestlers in the world, I would say. We'll
get back to that after because I want to do something with that.
Okay. Yeah, they're all fantastic. They've got great chemistry. They've been wrestling. Becky and Sasha especially. They've been wrestling each other for so long. It showed. And Bianca held her own, but she's great. And I think this was the best finish, I think, of the night because it was a dirty roll up. So Sasha gets pinned, which is I think Sasha needed to take the pin because Bianca and Charlotte are clearly going to continue their feud on Raw. Or sorry,
what's on SmackDown?
Sorry, Bianca and Becky, not Charlotte.
Yeah, Bianca and Becky.
So Bianca needed to be clean, needed to kind of stay clean here.
Yeah.
To buy her is credible. But at the same time, Sasha can't take a clean pinfall loss here because she's probably going to get into a program with Charlotte. So I think a dirty leverage pin loss here for Sasha was the perfect way to do it. Everyone's protected going to their new brands.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. Like this match, I didn't like the belt at all. The belt was even worse than something like, what's a bad build? Was even worse than the Big E Drew McIntyre build, honestly, because it was just so confusing. Like it's hard to book something that has 4 people involved, and I think the way they did it was just so cool, especially with, those guys are feuding because they're gonna split brands, and they're like, but these 2 guys are on brands together, but they're gonna be on brands together after 3 weeks. Like even with the draft part of it was gonna be confusing. We obviously know why they did this, because they wanna make sure this title and these 2 people are on this brand and the other 2 on this brand, which I understand. I agree with you. Sasha Banks should have taken the dirty role. Other than that, this match was phenomenal. Some of the spots I've seen were so innovative. Double this armor. I think we've seen that before, but just in general, like there's just lots of innovations in like triple threat match I have never seen before, and I didn't expect that. They all were pretty smooth together. They all had chemistry together, which is hard to pull off in a triple threat match. Fantastic match on a fantastic night of matches. Better than the Big E Drew McIntyre match. Better than the Edge match. Better than the main event. Hats off to those ladies. They killed it. And especially, sorry to interrupt. And especially with inside, I feel like that's not it has to be mentioned. The rights of women over there is crazy, and how they can't much do this stuff. I don't think they can drive a car or something like that. Like they have less rights, and the women equality over there is not there, and it's not okay. And for those 3 women to just tear the house down, be like, hey, us women, we can pull up the best match with amazing all-time performers. Honestly, I mean, you had Roman, you had AJ, Randy. It shows a lot, and I'm very proud and happy for them.
Yeah, I feel like we weren't surprised at how good this match was. There's 3, I would say 3 of the top 4 wrestlers in WWE as far as women's division concerned. You put Charlotte in there. You put Bianca's a star. Like the fact that she can lift up. I know Sasha Banks isn't heavy, but the fact she can lift up Sasha Banks.
That was awesome.
Like that's fucking insane.
There was a little bit of smoke and mirrors that though, because you could see that Sasha was holding herself up on Bianca's other shoulder.
But still, she has.
But still, yes, I do agree. I do agree that that's still very hard.
It's just a balance thing.
I bet she could do it with Nia Jax too.
Okay.
Nia Jax on one arm, Doudrop on the other.
That's with Nia Jax. Nia Jax is a fantastic worker in that she could just make that work.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it was awesome. I wish Sasha Banks won the match, obviously. But I love the finish. I feel like it kept everybody credible and safe. Plus Sasha's been beating everybody. The past, she has wins over what?
Beat Becky.
She has wins over Becky, and there's someone else that she beat, didn't she?
I think she had a run in at the end of was it Charlotte and Bianca that she ran?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, but she's been on a roll, and then if you watch SmackDown, you know what's coming for her.
I haven't watched SmackDown yet.
I know you haven't, but yeah. So we're in a great spot for a top women's wrestling. The mid card needs some work because Zelina Vega should not been Queen of the Crown or fucking whatever.
Queen's Crown.
Yeah, but I love this match. I don't expect anything less. I just do fear that they're going to be duplicating matches a lot with Becky and Bianca and then Charlotte and Sasha. So We need to grow some more stars around eventually.
Grow Tony Storm, grow Liv Morgan, like
Bring up Raquel Gonzalez for fuck's sake.
do something with these women that are super talented, and you guys are just putting them on the pre-show. Like, come on.
All right. So main event, the main event. Can we get Mark Henry in here to announce the main event since he's good for nothing else?
Yeah. So we had the main event. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and we caught at least I think how many times have we seen these guys on pay-per-view at this point? Like 4 or 5 in the past.
Let me think.
Handful of years.
I think did they have ever had non-WrestleMania matches together?
SummerSlam when Roman
Crown Jewel. They've fought at Crown Jewel before.
Have they?
Steel cage Crown
Yes,
Jewel.
the steel cage match when Roman speared Brock through the cage, and they said
Brock
first. And then I think they fought at SummerSlam as well.
Have they?
But anyway, it was you know what to expect with these guys. They're both Roman's obviously we all voted him the number 1 wrestler of the year, and rightfully so. And Brock, when Brock is motivated, Brock's a fantastic worker. So and you could tell that Brock was pretty motivated here. He both these guys brought out they've got great chemistry because they've worked with each other so many times, and they really brought out the best of each other here. My only and I like that they did give Brock an out with the double super kick and then the belt shot and him hitting the F5 on Roman while the ref was down. Yeah. So they did give him an out. He came out of this looking strong. I wish they made Paul pick a side because
the story's not over.
Yeah, but I just feel like all we're going to get now is just more of the same stuff. It's going to be Brock's going to hint that Paul's working with him. Roman's going to be like, Paul, are you working with him? He's going to say, no, of course not. And then Brock's going to drop another hint. And just, they're going in circles because whether we want to admit it or not, this feud is centered around Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And him not picking a side and doing another ambiguous thing with throwing the belt in, not saying who he threw it to, it doesn't really further the story. So it was a good match. I think that just the finish kept both men strong. But as far as did the story go any further, I don't think it did.
No, I understand why WWE is doing this, in my opinion. Because who's Roman gonna feud with otherwise? I mean, I brought up Jeff Hardy, and you guys already were like, "Well, Jeff Hardy."
McIntyre is gonna be there. Give Sami Zayn a title shot.
But it's not gonna be credible. It's like just rotating.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Veer's on Raw, so he's gonna have to take the other championship.
I feel like they're extending time to have this feud, and maybe at WrestleMania, because that's the way it's looking. They're gonna have the Survivor Series.
I don't think.
I think they're gonna have the
based on what I haven't
Rumble?
seen it. I read about what happened today. So what I'm assuming it's going to be is he will probably return at the Rumble.
That's what I said before, though. That's what I said.
He's gonna face him at the Rumble, and that's the blow off. When have you had a finishing feud on the Rumble?
No. I think he returns in the Royal Rumble and probably wins the match. And I do think they might be building this to Mania.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
I hope not.
I mean, I hope not. But what else are you gonna do?
They're obviously. Go ahead. Sorry.
You read some of SmackDown, so I would say that Roman didn't really seem to care too much about Paul not picking a side.
What do you mean?
He didn't really care that much.
Yeah, he did. He's like, "Are you my?" Why did you hand the title to me directly? That's what he said.
He said that one thing, and then he was like, "Okay, I want to beat Brock Lesnar's ass now." That's all it really was.
He's still in the back of his mind. That's a Roman thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I do not want to see Roman versus Brock.
Obviously, but think about it. Obviously, they're not fighting a Survivor Series. What's the December pay-per-view? Is that TLC? I don't
think there's no December pay-per-view. They took it away.
Oh yeah, because this match, it has to be a big. You have to do Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at a big 4.
I just don't want it to be.
You can't drag with Brock Lesnar. For those of you who haven't watched SmackDown yet, you can't drag his suspension out that long. He has to return within the next couple of months.
I don't know, even though like if the suspension's upheld after what he did to Adam Pearce.
Oh yeah.
He did this. It's the exact same thing they did
Adam Pearce
WrestleMania 31.
ripped in half. It was the fucking funniest thing in the world.
It's the exact same thing they did after WrestleMania 31. He got suspended Raw after Mania 31. And I believe he returned for Battleground.
Battleground.
What,
That was like
pay-per-view?
3 months later.
But yeah, this was a fine match. I wish Roman would stop wearing the fucking red glove. The gold
Yeah.
glove.
I miss the gold glove. Bring the gold
The gold
glove
glove
back.
is great.
Yes. Bring it
He's
back.
not even
Yeah,
on
it was
Raw. He's not even on Raw. Why are you wearing a red glove?
Shit, I know.
Is it because
Probably-
the bloodline is like
it's
blood
prob-
and
it's
it's
probably-
red? Is that why?
It's probably red because the Raw brand is home to the future holding all titles man Veer. And he's like, I'm wearing red to support Veer so that Veer doesn't kill me.
Give me AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's what I want.
That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, so that was Crown Jewel. It was actually it was a good. I think it was a good show.
I think it was good. I
So
enjoyed it.
even though like I can disagree with some of the booking decisions all I want, but they were good matches. With the exception of one or two, I don't want to speak too quickly without thinking about it. But was this probably the best Crown Jewel?
No, because you didn't
Yes,
have.
it was.
No, the reason not is because you didn't have Titus World Slide. You didn't have Hornswoggle chasing Selena Vega. You can't have this be the best one.
All right, so yeah, that was it. It definitely was.
Yeah.
So I do have a thing. I don't know. I haven't even discussed this with you guys, but so PWI 150 came out today. Did you?
The women's one.
Did either of you look at the list?
Is
I
it
only
men's
know who
list
number
or
one.
women's?
I only actually yes. I saw I looked at the top 10, but I don't remember much. I remember who number 1 is, 4, and 5.
Okay, I was gonna
Men's or
do
women's?
the women's. I was gonna have you guys try to rank who was. No, but Eric's already looked at the list.
Okay, let me do.
I only know.
Yeah,
from
let
top
Tom do it.
1.
Let Tom.
Alright,
Tom,
I'm gonna do
one.
top 5 real quick.
Yeah, you can do the top 5
Okay.
or top 10.
Keep in mind, Dom,
No,
there are.
that's too much.
Keep in mind, Dom, that it is like WWE, AEW, New Japan is everything. It's not
Well,
just.
New Japan doesn't have any women, so it's.
Well, Dom's not getting number 2.
Actually,
Some of these did surprise me.
Yeah, let me actually look it up. Let me see if I can find the full list.
I have the top 10 right here in front of me.
I need another woman.
How many are you doing? 5 or 10?
5. I'm not doing 10. I'm ready to finish this up because I have other stuff to do.
Oh yeah, Big Dad.
All right, yeah, I have the top 10 in front of me.
I do too.
Number 5.
Dom, I'll be surprised you get more than one right.
I will too, to be honest.
Okay, I got it. So
All right, give me. Don't show. Give us number 1.
Sasha Banks.
No,
Okay, number 2 I have Bianca.
no,
Yeah, I thought. Britt Baker, number 3.
no,
4 I have Charlotte.
no.
And then I have 5 for Thunder Rosa.
Oh, you got that one. You got
Hey,
that.
look at me.
Oh, that one.
So,
Yeah.
number 1 is Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Utamiya Hayashita.
Utami Hayashishita.
Look at I mean, took Japanese in high school. You can tell.
Number 3 is Deonna
Okay.
Purrazzo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Pirazo.
Number 4 is Britt Baker.
Oh, I forgot.
Sasha's number 6.
Damn, that's rough.
Charlotte's on the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
Who's
I'm-
after that?
PWI.
7 is 6
Go
is Sasha. 7 is Siri. I don't know what's their name. 8 is Io Shirai. 9 is Tam Nakano, and number 10 is Raquel Gonzalez.
Where's Dakota Kai?
I don't know.
PWI, they did their rankings. Remember way back when we did ours. I think they seem to have ranked theirs very similarly to like with what my criteria was, which was they docked people who weren't able to wrestle full times. Like, Sasha's only number 6 because she missed a ton of time. Bailey's not in the top 10 because she has missed a ton of time. Charlotte missed time, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte was out for a little while.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why like those people aren't there.
I mean,
I think Bianca's very well deserving of them.
honestly, yeah. Peraza, I think I should have thought of that. Top 5, I think that's a lock in too.
Yeah, I'm a little
She's
surprised.
been
Britt
carrying
Baker
the women's division in Impact.
I'm a little surprised that Britt Baker was only number 4, not because not because necessarily I think she should be higher, but because those PWI and Observer people are obsessed with AEW and they just give them all the awards.
But she's been carrying a whole division for the second biggest brand in North America. So yeah.
But she's not having that. She's not really having fantastic matches.
But she can't. Well,
and that's part.
Her Thunder Rosa lights out match was pretty fucking good.
Thunder Rosa leads her.
Huh?
I said Thunder Rosa leads those matches.
Doesn't mean it's not gonna.
Well, honestly, why is Thunder Rosa in the top 5?
Because she's great.
Because like every time she's in the ring, she's amazing.
She burns the house down, in a good way. All right then. Any last things we gotta say before we finish?
Do we want to spin the wheel for?
Spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel before.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, give me the names.
Yeah, hold on. That won't take too long. We only have 4 left. So there's 4 left. Do we want to? We're gonna each do one here, and then are we each gonna fantasy book the last one?
Yeah, we'll each fantasy book.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
On the next show.
Hopefully, it won't be the one I don't want.
Give me NXT.
No. Oh my god.
Okay, so hold on. It's loading.
Where the fuck is my wheel?
So the remaining.
Give me the AW one.
So the remaining we have
Big
E heel turn.
No.
Ooh,
Yes, we have Big E heel turn. We have WWE World Championship unification match.
Oh.
Super Elite split up.
Give me that.
And WWE versus NXT winner take all.
No, thank you. I just want one of them.
All right, so I'm just playing 1 through 4.
Can I go first?
Sure.
All right.
Which one do you want, Tom? You want Big E heel turn? Never mind.
No, I want Super Elite breakup. Which one is that? What number is that?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Cody's putting them on.
No, I know which one it is.
I'm just doing 1 through 4. I'm not
tell me which one it is so I can root for it.
It's either.
What do you mean either? It only can be one number.
I know Big E heel turns number 1 and NXT's number 4, so it's either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Just tell us what it is. I think
it's 3.
3.
It's 3.
Okay. I'm
all right, down spin.
Please.
Damn it!
Oh no, it landed on 4.
No, it did not.
Did it really?
No.
I didn't want that one anyway.
All right, Eric, you or me?
I'll go next.
I'm ready for this booking.
Big E heel turn. Let's go.
All right.
He's like, I'm done with this goofy New Day shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then Cody, just have to get the NXT one. Yeah,
NXT, let's go.
Thank God.
Right, so that means that the last. So then we're all going to be fantasy booking for the following week, the unification.
So we'll have that booking next Friday as our Friday fantasy booking. Tomorrow we will be here at 10 o'clock to review SmackDown and Rampage, possibly. Okay.
I haven't watched Rampage. I mean,
that just happened. That's it for us. We will see you tomorrow night.
All right. Goodbye.
Oh, wait.